Chelsea Football Club, it's another emergency meeting, but the reality is when you keep having them on a regular basis, it just turns into another meeting. So what do we need to talk about? Enzo Maresca basically throws a lot of crap into our face and expects us to take it in regards to the FA Cup. What he said is a sackable offence in itself. Then he gave us some mumbo jumbo regarding Joao Felix and why he's happy there, so we need to accept it. And for me, this is just protecting the directors. And finally, he gives us some more context about Nicholas Jackson and Reece James's injury, but we need to talk about this honestly and have this emergency meeting out in the open. Look, I'm going to say from the outset, there are lots of different content creators on this platform. I respect all of them. A lot of them are saying different things and we all have different views. One thing we're consistent with is we want Chelsea winning trophies. A lot of people are calling for protests. I'm not. And the reason I'm not calling for protests is because protests never go in the right way. It's never organized, there's never a manifesto that people all agree on, and more importantly, people have their own agendas for when they call that kind of stuff. Me personally, what I want is the ownership to look at these directors and tell them, this is unacceptable. We've spent £1.3 billion. We need results. Someone said this perfectly and I heard it. The only thing you can expect from an American ownership in any other sport is if the GM, the general manager, the directors don't do their job properly, they're getting fired. They don't get multiple redos. We can't even do that properly. So, we need to talk about this. We need to break this down. So before we get started, number one, hit that like button. Number two, we're like 800 away from 40,000. Subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support. And we need to build this community. We need to have open and honest, non-agenda-based conversations. Because agenda-based conversations are stupid. They're literally closed-minded. We need to be open. We need to be transparent. And we need to be honest. We don't need to be rude to each other. Let's get into it. You lot need to understand, right? I'm 29 years old. So in my life, what I've seen is Chelsea win trophies on a regular basis. I've seen Chelsea absolutely have terrible seasons, leave with an FA Cup, and I'm like, you know what? We left with something. Leave with with a League Cup and an FA Cup, we left with something. Pick up a Europa League. Pick up a good Champions League when we don't deserve it. And for me, there's a pride to that. It means we deliver results even when things go badly. What I don't like is Enzo Maresca yesterday's game came out and said, look, at least there's a positive from this defeat is that we can focus on the Premier League and the conference. First of all, big man, you're the manager of Chelsea Football Club. You don't need to focus on the Conference League to win the Conference League, right? Your squad is more than capable to win the Conference League. You should be winning the Conference League. Losing in the Conference League is a calamity. It's a failure. It is embarrassing. It is a tristeza, as my wife would say. A travesty, yeah? We can't be doing that. The Premier League, you need to learn how to play 2 games a week. And for me, what's annoying here is comments like this turn fans against you. For me, this is a sackable offence. You're losing the DNA of the club. And the thing is, a lot of people say DNA of the club's lost. Yes, it is lost in many aspects. The minute Roman left the club, we changed forever. We changed. We didn't know what our new DNA was going to become. Because what's happened is we got ownership that's come in. They've got a different way of viewing things. And people are going to say they don't want to win. I think they want to win, but they want to win their way. And their way is on the cheap or in a business profitable way. Meaning they're going to buy a bunch of young players. These young players are going to develop and we're going to win the occasional trophy. And they want us to say thank you very much for helping us win the occasional trophy. But there won't be this hunger to go and win more and more and more. And for me, whilst it's annoying, what can I do? Like people say, oh, protests. Protests don't help when there is no ordinary fashion, there's no statement of what we want, when there's no organized method to the madness. Because what ends up happening is people act like clowns and then the protest message gets watered down because people start doing stupid things. So for me, what is imperative? Chelsea's manager resemblances the views of the fans. If you don't do that, you're going to lose the fans. And the minute you lose the fans, you're just another scapegoat to these directors. And for me, it's clear as day. It's a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb. He will get sacked the way Pochettino got sacked, the way Graham Potter got sacked. They liked Graham Potter. Potter did exactly what they wanted. Results went badly, fans turned on him, he was to go. Results went badly, fans turned on Pochettino. All of a sudden, Pochettino got a little bit of control because fans started going on his side. And guess what happened? They got rid of Pochettino. Why did they get rid of Pochettino? Yes, the style of play wasn't good, but it's because he also wanted more control. He also wanted the plan to change. And the reality is, Enzo Maresca is following a similar light. And for me, when you come out with stupid comments like, it is a good thing potentially that we went out because we could get the FA Cup, the Conference League and the Premier League focus, I don't like it, I hate it, it stinks. The next thing that really irritated. So he came out and said, oh, Jackson not playing really highlights how important he is to the team. We didn't press well, we didn't hold the ball up, he didn't make the runs into the channels. And you know what, big man, we see all of this. But the real question is, why do we see all of this? Because your other striker isn't listening to what you're asking him to do. Your other striker is dropping deep, he's picking up the ball from the centre halves, he ain't doing that. And now, he said something that I agree with. I can't beat him up for this. He said, we are very unlucky that Guiu and Jackson both got injured at the exact same time. Listen, that is unlucky. Your two strikers for one position both getting injured at the exact same time, meaning you don't even have a striker. That's unlucky. You could have a third guy, but there isn't one on the books at the moment that they trust. Nkunku is the third guy, and this is where the problem arises. But when I have Nkunku playing 90 minutes, when I have Tariq George coming on to make an impact, and when I have Joao Felix on loan, and you say, oh, we're happy for Joao. Joao is happy over there. It's fine. It's not a mistake. That's a problem. For me, that's a bloody problem because Joao Felix, yeah, whether you like him or not, yesterday comes on, he's better than Nkunku. He plays a better game than Nkunku. He's a better false nine than Nkunku. Nkunku is not a good player in his current iteration. He looks bored, he looks lazy, he looks indecisive, he looks clueless. And all of those things contribute to a very bad player. I'm not saying he's a poor player. I'm saying the way we are seeing Nkunku right now is a very, very mediocre, poor iteration of Christopher Nkunku. We need to do better. It doesn't help when your other wingers don't contribute. It doesn't help when Jadon Sancho doesn't contribute. It doesn't help when Neto looks like a shadow of a player that you're going to see. It's a toss of a coin between what Neto we get. It doesn't help when Noni Madueke comes on and does nothing to impact the game whatsoever. The other thing that we need to talk about, the sulking in this team. Mamma mia, I swear to God, I don't understand the sulking in this team. There are a bunch of petulant little kids. For those of you that watch basketball, they are AAU babies. They are spoiled brats. Noni doesn't get a foul, sulks. Gusto, sulking. Palmer, sulking. Genuinely, anytime anything goes against them, they fold. They crumble like biscuits. They crumble like Kepa's biscuit hands. It is absolutely mind-boggling to me how this team has no backbone. And you know what's hilarious? The players that don't crumble, in my opinion, are Caicedo, Enzo. That's the only two that don't crumble under pressure. You know, Enzo Fernandez is not perfect. Moises Caicedo isn't perfect, but they don't crumble under pressure. Cole Palmer even doesn't crumble under pressure, but he's got that sulking attitude about him too. The rest, Cucurella doesn't crumble. The rest, I've got 4 players out of 11 that crumble under pressure. Genuinely, do you know how bad that is? Do you know how embarrassing that is? And we have got a genuine problem on our hands because we have to get top 4. And it makes me sick that I have to say this. Look, Chelsea Football Club told me what they feel about the FA Cup yesterday through Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca came out and said, Reece is okay. We're managing it. We're making sure that we ensure that we have him for the rest of the season. He's okay. It was a precautionary game off, basically. For me, that's nonsense. Reece had a whole week to recover for this game, in my opinion, right? I think it was, we played on Monday, we had a week. Now, you've given him an extra week off, and you're saving him for that Friday night Valentine's Day clash against Brighton. For me, that stinks, and I'll explain to you why. You've told me, basically, you've told Reece, you told the dressing room, the captain's getting rested. Big man, this game's fine. It's not the end of the world if we don't lose this. And your comments also publicly said this. You said it doesn't matter. It's a positive. The fact that he could say it's a positive that now we can focus on top 4. Look, I'm not stupid. I understand top 4 is imperative. I understand getting 5th and winning an FA Cup financially is bad for us. You know, especially if the Champions League isn't the top 5 teams. If it is, then okay, fine. 5th is perfect. But missing out on Champions League can't happen for numerous reasons. Sponsorship, financially, and more importantly, the ethos of the club. This club needs to be in the Champions League, and we need to invest into the Champions League players to keep us in the Champions League moving forward. And this is the problem here that we have right now that I think people don't really understand. What this club needs more than anything is 3 world-class additions. Get me a world-class striker, get me a world-class centre-back, and get me a world-class goalkeeper. And this team goes tenfolds up. Get me Magic Mike from AC Milan or Diego Costa. Get me a centre-half that is top, ready to come in. The way Diaz came in, right, from Benfica to Manchester City and just jumped the next level. And get me a number 9. Get me a Gyökeres. Get me an Isak. Get me somebody that's going to come in and slap goals on a regular basis. And I don't even need him to do any build-up. I just need him to slap the ball. I need a bouncer up top, genuinely. I need somebody that's just going to be there like a battering ram, because we create chances. Yesterday was an anomaly. We don't normally not create chances. Normally we don't take chances. So for me, you do that and this team just changes, man. The whole repertoire of this team changes. The whole attitude around this team changes. Players like Palmer no longer have to contribute every single game. Players like Neto, Sancho are going to step up. You've got the addition of little supplementation of Estevao coming in. You've got Andre Santos coming in. Midfield will bolster. I like Enzo. I like Caicedo. People are telling me Lavia, Fofana aren't playing. They never play. You need to assume that they're broken. Reece James. Any games we get from Reece James is a bonus. I assume he's broken. I assume Reece James is broken. When I saw Reece got injured, I didn't even make a video on it. There's no need to make a video on it. And guess what? It turns out he wasn't injured. They just gave him a precautionary day off. That's what you get. Arsenal go to Dubai. My man, you get to go to Mayfair and have a day off. Don't worry, it's only the FA Cup. We'll go to Brighton without you. And we'll put a disaster class and a stinker in. For me, this absolutely reeks. And when I say reeks, I mean it reeks of mediocrity and what is important for them. It's the money that we generate that's important to them, not success on the pitch. Feliciano told us, Igbali told us, they care about the financial well-being rather than success on the pitch. As long as we generate the peas, it will happen. But listen, top 4 generates you the money. Make sure we're at least in the Champions League and we got some hope of winning and contributing to the success of this club. I'm tired. I'm genuinely tired. I'm not here to rant. I'm not here to vent. I'm just here to tell you my thoughts on this whole situation because it's a mess. Here's the video of my reaction for yesterday's game. I broke it down, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Let me know your thoughts. And tell me, are you Maresca in or Maresca out? Because at the moment, I am loitering at the idea of Maresca out, but I'm not there yet.